Hi everyone, this is Brian from theunlocker.com, and today we're going to be giving you our full review of the Google TV 3.1 Honeycomb update. The Google TV platform has had some bad press recently with Logitech coming out saying that it was a big failure for them to get involved with it and that they won't be making a follow-up to the Logitech Revue. But with the 3.1 update, the Google TV platform does bring some new enhancements to it that do increase the value of the device. And basically, whether or not Google TV is going to be something that's going to work for you is going to come down to the features and the cost. So when these set-top boxes first launched, they were basically double the price, if not more, than what you can find them for now. Right now, Logitech Revues are running for $99 all over the internet, and the Sony Blu-ray player with Google TV is running $199 specials all over the internet as well, which is regularly a $399 device. So there are some values out there. And with Google dropping, or I should say the manufacturers dropping the price of their set-top boxes, they're definitely trying to drum up some more business there and get more people on the Google TV platform. So we're going to go over the 3.1 update, and we're going to see what's good and what's bad, and kind of discuss some things about whether or not Google TV is a viable candidate. Alright, so let's start with what's good about the 3.1 update. The first thing is, here we're watching just normal programming. If we hit our home key, it instantly brings up this little menu down at the bottom, which gives us our time, notifications, apps, and then shortcuts for a variety of different commonly used functions. So if we look here at our notification, it's going to give us, updates, whether or not apps have been updating. We can go up here and see recent apps and see what we've been using recently and jump right back into that. It's really nice, and it's really compact, and the whole design is just much more seamless than it was originally. So we find that the app drawer here, having that and have all your apps in one place where you can jump right into it without the whole left-right kind of scrolling back and forth between subheaders and then apps, and it was just kind of cumbersome before, and it's much more refined now. The Android market was a major addition to the 3.1 update for Google TV, and it's something that early adopters of the Google TV platform have been waiting for well over a year now. And while it's here, and that's great, the Android market is pretty limited in terms of what it brings you. There are some good quality apps here, don't get me wrong, but it is early, so you have to understand that the amount of apps that are here now is not going to be reflective in 3 months or 6 months from now. You're going to see a lot more apps, and hopefully a lot more quality apps, and potentially some things that will combat some of the negatives that we'll talk about a little bit later in this video. But for all intents and purposes, having the market here is nice. There are some good programs. You've got Clicker for Google TV. There is let me see, AOL HD, which I really didn't care for too much, but you got QVC, so if you want to sit around at home all day and just order stuff from your Google TV without actually watching the channel and listen to the boring people speak, then you've got that. So Android market, big thumbs up. Number of apps, not really a thumbs down, but at this point in time, it's certainly not going to wow you with its app offerings. Another nice addition to the 3.1 update is the ability to sideload applications. This is very helpful considering the fact that the Android market really doesn't have a whole lot of offering yet, and we've already done a video on how to sideload applications on your Google TV, so if you're interested in doing that, go ahead and check out that video. And it's really nice being able to install third-party applications or additional app stores like the Amazon Market or the Amazon App Store. It's not going to fix all the problems with Google TV at this point in time because apps in general are just lacking. This is a pretty new platform in terms of having the ability to install third-party apps without needing hacks and rooting your device and things like that. So the apps will come. And the ability to install apps that don't come from the Android market is a big benefit. One addition that has definitely changed, but it's going to be kind of hard to show you in this short video, is the search functionality. I've done a number of searches for a lot of different things. Once you click search from your keyboard, you can type in anything. I'll type in Lost right here so I can kind of show you a couple things. But the searching is more relevant. It's easier to find TV that's actually on now using the search. Plus, it does a better job indexing Amazon services and Netflix services into your search criteria. So here we're going to go to the TV and movie section, and we can come here and we can look at all the available seasons of Lost. We can click on the box that filters out all the paid stuff just so we can see the free stuff. And if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber like I am, you can come here and let's go to season 6, and we'll just click on episode 16, whatever, and you can see that Netflix, it's free. Amazon.com, you can buy it, it says, but if you are Prime, you go ahead and click on the buy link, and then it's going to bring us to this other page where we're going to have the option to stream it at zero cost. So you can see here, watch now, unlimited streaming, $0. So we go ahead and click on that. And then we're going to start watching our show. Now obviously we could have done this on Netflix as well, but if you're not a Netflix subscriber, it's good to know that Amazon is building their content library. So between the Amazon library, the Netflix library, we do have quite a decent amount of content here that we can view. The problem is we don't get a whole lot of the new releases. This isn't exactly going to get rid of your cable altogether, and you can just keep your internet and watch on-demand services, because as we're going to talk about in the con sections, CBS, ABC, Fox, all of those type major networks are still blocking Google TV, and in addition to that, Hulu's not working either. It's still unsupported. Hulu Plus is unsupported, and we're hoping that changes quickly, because now we're seeing Hulu Plus out for the Android phones. Still not available on most Android tablets, so we're hoping that it makes its way here. But there's a whole bunch in terms of negotiations and things like that with Google and all these service providers, and it's all based on money. So there's really no telling when we're going to get that functionality, if ever. And if we don't get it, it is going to be a major downfall of Google TV, and something that hopefully can be overcome with Amazon and Netflix's ability to bring new, fresh content to the platform. I got a little bit ahead of myself talking about some of the negatives of the Google TV, some of the cons. Limited app support is one. However, that's really a plus, because now we have apps. We just don't have a lot of them. So it's nice that we have the market. Hopefully we'll see more apps come with time. But for right now, it's certainly not going to blow you away by the vast array of apps that are available to you. The other thing is the Hulu Plus, CBS, ABC, NBC, all the networks that are blocking their content from being viewed on Google TV devices. And that's it's not a problem with the 3.1 update per se. It's just a problem that's still going on after the 3.1 update. And until that gets cleared up, Google TV in general isn't going to have a very concrete lifespan. I think Google TV as a platform would be much further ahead if they had those services up and running, but we don't. So for right now, that's a huge negative. But in terms of just the 3.1 update itself and what it brings, this right here, this is the YouTube app, and you can see me and my son were listening to some music here. So I've got all my search history here, and that search history is all that you're basically going to get. Unfortunately, there is no way to view your subscriptions or anything like that. So you can search for whatever you want to search for here. You can search for, we can search for Porsche, and we can watch videos on Porsche, and it comes up relatively fast. You've got a nice little layout here. The problem is, if anyone's familiar with a Honeycomb tablet, the YouTube application in the Honeycomb tablet is far superior to this application. And that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense considering that they're both running Honeycomb, and they could have definitely made it basically a mirror image of the Honeycomb app for tablets and put it on here. This looks rushed. It looks like a last minute thought, like, hey, let's update the YouTube browser, and they didn't do a very good job with it. And considering the fact that we do have Hulu and then other networks blocking their content from Google TV, YouTube is really a big staple for Google TV, and for them to not pay enough attention to this application was really, really stupid. And I hope that in future updates they bring a better YouTube application, because that's really one of the things that's at the heart and soul of the Google TV platform, YouTube and Netflix. So it was really disheartening to see that, I've got the options here to sign out. So I'm signed into my account, but I can't pull up my subscriptions, and I rely on my subscriptions, and I watch a lot of tech videos and things like that all day, every day. Not all day, but every day I put that kind of stuff on. And so when I come home, if I'm sitting on my TV, I've got to go to the mobile web browser, and it's just not as friendly to use that. It's much more friendly to use, like for my Honeycomb tablet, I use my YouTube app. I don't use the internet because the app is so good. Here you're forced to use the internet and use the Google Chrome browser for your YouTube experience, and it's really disappointing. Now this next thing we're going to cover isn't really necessarily a con. It is for me because I like things a certain way, and in the previous generation of Google TV they had it that way, and then they went and changed it. If we come in here and we go to our menu here and we look at all applications, right? We can launch anything. We can open up 15 different things, back out of them, go back. We can have a lot of stuff running, and if you press and hold your home key, you see that we've got all of our recent apps here. There is no way to close these applications or get rid of them from this list. So if you want to, I'm no longer using Skyfire. I was trying to find some workarounds for some of the content providers that are blocking this stuff, and which could get to work on a limited basis, but you got to be willing to watch it in a very small window. But I'm no longer using Skyfire. I'd like to just get it out of this list. That way, even if it's not using system resources, I would like to be able to navigate through this list as a list of shortcuts of things I'm bouncing back and forth between. And you don't have the ability to remove them, and it's just kind of silly. They had the ability to close apps in the previous version, and then in this version, we don't get a little X, a little X right here, so you can go ahead and just close out the market or close out Netflix or Skyfire or anything else. And that's one of those other things that's just kind of silly about the update, and I'm hoping that they bring that functionality back in future updates. So what do we think? Well, the 3.1 update definitely brings some improvements that were needed. It's not a perfect update. Google didn't address everything that they really should have, and they let a couple of things get actually worse, but not by big margins. Overall, it is a vast improvement over the first generation of product, or the first generation of software. Now we've got the ability to play Frogger on here, and if that's something that you want to do, and I really don't know that it's worth $200 or $300 to play Frogger on your TV, but the fact that you can is definitely a benefit. And maybe if you don't have a game console and you have a young child or something like that, you can find some of these little stupid games that will make their time there watching TV a little bit more enjoyable or something. But for the most part, we're still lacking support for Hulu Plus, all the networks, and that's really the biggest problem that Google TV's got at this point in time. The 3.1 update, better interface, much more streamlined. The ability to load applications from the market, the ability to side load applications. What's in store for Google TV at this point in time, in my opinion, really depends on the developers that are coding applications for Google TV. We'll see how motivated they are to produce high quality applications that are going to enhance this experience. And if they don't, because Google really doesn't have a huge foothold in the mobile or the television watching industry at this point in time because of some of their problems, then that's going to be disappointing. Hopefully developers will code for this. Hopefully we'll have some great apps, things that are better than just watching these kind of lame fires on here. You can see I've got Hulu Plus installed because I was able to side load it. It's not available in the market, but you can see here it's not even gonna, it may not even give me a notification. Sometimes you'll see a quick little notification that says force closed, but it won't even open for me. See, and there you go. So once we get some support for some of those applications, then I think we're going to be in a much better place. Netflix obviously is big on this. A lot of people have game consoles, so they're already able to watch Netflix, and maybe that's not a huge selling point to them. And if that's the case, I mean, there's not much right now, honestly, that the Google TV platform does that you can't do on your Xbox 360. It does it better than your Xbox 360 can do it. But you can still get on the internet, you can still surf around, that kind of thing, and you're really not losing a whole lot. But if you don't have any kind of internet connectivity to a TV, then a $99 Logitech Revue is well worth it in my opinion. And if you need a Blu-ray player, for $199 you can get the Sony Blu-ray player with Google TV. And while those aren't the prices that these devices initially shipped with, those are more realistic as to what the prices should be. And because we're seeing them now in that price range, plus with the update to Honeycomb, I think you're going to see more support for people wanting to buy this, and for this being a viable Christmas gift or that kind of thing. Last year I thought it was going to be the Christmas gift of the year, and it just never took off, and part of that was all the stuff that's still going on with the blocked content. So realistically, it's all depending on what you feel is the value added measures that Google TV gives to you. What does it bring to you versus what does it cost? For $99, Google TV definitely brings a lot of stuff with it that you can't find most anywhere else. And I mean, you buy a $300 Xbox to do this, so you can buy a $99 Google TV Logitech Revue and be able to stream Netflix and things like that. So that's been our review. All in all, we like it. It's a good update. But it's still lacking in some ways that a software update can't fix. So this is Brian with theunlocker.com, and thanks for watching.